Esmond here for hitthepick.com, hitthepick.com, where you can go and get all kinds of free UFL betting advice from yours truly, the loud Esmond. All right, so I gave out the Friday night game. I gave out the Saturday game. So let's talk about the Sunday early game. This is the Stallions at the Roughnecks. The Stallions have been an enormous disappointment. They were the runaway choice to win the whole thing this year again. This would have been the third time in a row. They had led the league in offense 2 years in a row, but things have turned around badly for the Stallions. They barely beat the Renegades in an ugly game last Friday, 10-9, coming back from behind late. They had only scored 3 points in the entire game up until that point. The Roughnecks, on the other hand, won their first game in about 8 or 9 tries. They're the worst scoring team in the league at 11 points per game. However, the Roughnecks benched their quarterback, their starting QB at halftime, and they brought in a former Fighting Blue Hen and former Baltimore Raven, Nolan Henderson. Henderson, he's got some scoot to his game. He put some plays together down the stretch with his legs, had almost, I think, around 70-plus yards rushing in just the second half. And then the defense seemed to pick it up a little bit because they had some hope on offense. If the Roughnecks are smart, they're going to start this kid again. And then I can see them keeping this close against the Scallions with that kid kind of moving the chains and not having the Roughnecks defense constantly on the field like it's been most of the season. And I would then, if they start Henderson, I would be with them plus the 7.5. But it's hard with UFL. You just don't get a lot of information. There's just not as many reporters following it. And, they don't update injuries and starting, who's not very much. League needs to improve on that if the bettors are going to be able to trust the league. I also lean to the over 36.5. Look, the Stallions have got to get on track at some point on offense because they still have a lot of great players and a good quarterback and a very good offensive coach. So I also see this going over. So Roughnecks keep it within the 7.5 and over 36.5 are the plays in the early game on Sunday in the UFL, Stallions and Roughnecks. I'm Loud Esmond for hitthepick.com.